Right, so Amiga World Tour back with another video, and this time I'm doing a VR to Mamemeister, Alan. What I've been thinking about is his VR question, and that's, what's your favourite gaming era? And mine, you know, so many fond memories of that Spectrum. Going to W.H. Smith's, buying my mum and dad buying games, getting Double Dragon for Christmas, just the amount of arcade hits that computer had, and what brought me up, likes of Outrun and Enduro Racer. Even the first game I ever played was Ant Attack on the Spectrum. But for me, it's going to have to be the Amiga. The reason why is because I had a little bit of income, not much paper rounds, but it got me these, and it got me blanks, which made me play the Amiga a lot. And then obviously growing up, you get a bit more income, college grants, etc. And you get accelerators, 1200s, but just the memories of it, going to local boot sales and buying games and then swapping them in the playground when you was at school, going around to your mates' houses. I mean, could say that with the Spectrum. My mate Dave literally lived like two streets away. It was about a 5-minute skateboard or a 10-minute walk, but it didn't bring that, what I remember now, the nostalgic of the Amiga, of the sounds, and the amount of people that I knew that had one. And me and Steve, part of the Amiga lads, leave a link in the description. Me and him live literally across the road from one another. And Tuesday night he popped round mine, and then Thursday I popped down to my cousin's house. And that's a brilliant story. I mean, a lot of the demos I upload, I used to watch them around there, and my dad used to play darts with my uncle, and I went round Gary's house, and he had the ST, then the Amiga, then I got my Amiga in about 93, 92, my first one, and that blew up. So I've got the 693, and playing games on a Thursday night, it was just fantastic. It was, and he used to copy my games, I used to copy his. Talking of which, I mean, these are lists here. It's a wad of A4 paper, and you can see, like, you know, the games are on there and everything, and we used to go through these and, you know, pick out what ones we want. Even when we was at school, we was doing that, and just to have that, you know, wait for the market on that Sunday to pop down there, get on our bikes and everything, and coming back with loads of discs. It was just, I don't know, it's memories you can't get, obviously, but it was just fantastic. It was, and not only that, I mean, later on in like 94, 95, trying to get this, you know, you go to W.H. Smith's and you're hunting around for it, and it was like a chore to own one at one point, because everything was just not obsolete, but it was difficult. Like, W.H. Smith's didn't really stock the Amiga format, and that's the magazine I was collecting for, and I've still got them all, but it was just crazy going into the shop trying to find them, and in the end, you know, sometimes it was newsagents, you could get it in, but it's just, you know, the magazines, even Bad Influence and Games Master were on about that time, 93, 94, I think it started in 91, 92, but the original episodes had a lot of the Amiga in it. Then obviously the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive got stronger and overtook the Amiga in time. But just having that little era as well, and having friends round during the during the holidays, even after school, you know, it was great because, like, you know, you could experiment their games that they've got, either they went to the same market as us or if they went somewhere else. But it's not that, it's the music as well. I mean, between like early 90s, it was like rave, Apology was playing now, and you know, the Amiga sort of influenced me with that sort of music as well. And there's a funny story, it's a bit later on, I think this is 96, 95, 96, I've got a module, Spaceman, and I was in my mate's car, Cole, and we went back to my house for a little while after, you know, during lunchtime, and then I taped Spaceman on a cassette tape because obviously I was going back to college on bike, and I had it on there. So what happened is that we put it in the car, and because it was new out at the time, and the person sitting in the car didn't recognise it was actually playing on the Amiga than what it was playing on the CD or the radio. But that's how, you know, how good and clear it was. As I said, it's just mind blowing. I mean, there's loads of memories. It's just, you know, top of my head just thinking. I said about the Amiga magazines, and I said going back to Steve, like Tuesday night, he was a pop round mine, and he was a player on the 600, and Jimmy Whitewell in snooker, arcade pool. Banshee was a bit 94, 95 when we got the 1200s, but even looking at the 1200s back then, just the amount of like Banshee coming out for it, and just waiting and see if we can get it. You know, having the 600 for a year or two, and then the 1200 I've got in 94, and then I call Sensible Soccer. There's a video that I try and put in as well, but that was when we was a bit older. I think that was between 99 and 98.
That's like
recording now, aren't
they? Yeah. Do they see the what's it called?
What?
The menu, because I can see the menu.
I don't know. I'll put it on the TV if you want.
Nah.
Why not?
I don't want to watch on TV.
Why not?
It's boring as fuck.
Okay.
It's only us, for fuck's sake. What's on this tape?
Not TV. I'll put it on video anyway.
Yeah, but you'd have to cook it up, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I have done.
Well, no, it's not hooked up now, is it?
No, but what's the point in changing body?
What's cool?
I think when I started working, but Sensible Soccer, you know, is a game that brung me, Dave and John. Me, Dave, Mike and John, you know, like around my house and everything, and John especially was round every other weekend at my mum and dad's house, and always just sit there, play music, and we, you know, just play Sensi for the pretty much like Saturday. And obviously we started going out and drinking everything as well, and then John moved, and yeah, but John, you know where I am if you're watching. There's always an invite. And they've got Sensi 2016, 2017, with all the new teams and everything, other than 18 obviously, but you know, it's just so many, you know, and then the games, what was it, Saul, Aladdin was later on, that was, but you know, sort of the gaming era with the Amiga was in between 91 with the games that I had. Some of the earlier ones between 86, 85, 86, 87, 88 I sort of played, but obviously the programmers got that bit better, so obviously I didn't really play the older games as much as the newer ones, but I don't know, it's just so much. And then obviously when the Amiga started to die, then it was more like the music side of things, the image, you know, graphics and everything, and I was playing about with that for a little while, like using image effects. My cousin Gary as well was a little bit like, I was interested, but obviously I was just too busy playing the games. And we won't go down the Cindy Crawford what was it, discs and everything. This is another story. Gary, it was I think it was girls, I can't remember. and disc 2 was always corrupted, and I felt embarrassed going around there because one picture wouldn't load. It just got halfway and it wouldn't work. So I was e-copied them, and then I wanted disc 2 because it kept coming up with read error all the time, and it was on CD, and we didn't have I didn't have a CD burner or CD-ROM for the Amiga around that time, and it was just awkward trying to get the images back off him, sort of thing, because it was like, I want disc 2 again. It's like, I wonder why. But yeah, it's just sort of not lost for words, but it's just so many memories. I mean, as I said about going around Gary's house and everything, and I remember my auntie between 8:30, 8:45, bringing up a cup of tea, and it was either toast or it was like a crisp sandwich between 9, and then we were roughly left about 10:30. And I remember like later on I had the 1200 and we partnered them together, and we was copying bits off from his Amiga to my Amiga. And I remember going home, and I had loads of new stuff because he was at uni and he was downloading stuff from college, from university, from BBS and the internet and everything like that. I didn't have the internet obviously then, but he could log in, and yeah, he used to get stuff before it was released on like the AGA Experiences CDs and the 17-bit software, and yeah, just getting stuff and playing around with it and having the time to play with it. And obviously what I said about going to the boot sales, you come back on a Sunday and it's just a gaming fest. You just sit there and play the games. A couple of them didn't work and you used to go back again, and it used to be a nightmare because you used to get down there quite early and you used to buy your stuff, walk around and everything. There was a couple of stalls, I'm not going to mention any names for obvious reasons, but there's two blokes and we got on well with them, and then we was doing little deals and stuff and everything, and in the end we was doing other things with them as well, like cut deals and copying and stuff. But that was great. That was because like me and Steve we literally was running it at one point, and then so we was getting all the latest games like between 94, 95, 96, probably not ended 95 I think, but it was just great having that computer. And from a young age, where my cousin had the ST, and then I was amazed with that, from the Spectrum to the Master System, and then that's all I had, and then the ST, and then the Amigas, the sounds. And as I said, going around Gary's house, he showed me the Spaceballs demo, state of the art, and I thought, I'm so glad I've got the Amiga. So I said, I want that. So obviously I had a few discs with me in a disc box, one disc, and it just blew me away, that did. And it was the music and everything, and when you got it pumping out of a stereo, the Amiga sound chip, it just throws you, even today, like listening to it now, just totally knocks your socks off. It does. Just trying to think if there's anything else I can like relate to at the moment, but I guess the music as well. What I said about the music, I can't remember who was the people, but even the game developers had probably their highlight, like Cyanosis and Bitmats. Who else was there? Like Sensi, Sensible Software. All these public houses are just gone, aren't they? So it's another part of the favourite gaming year. All these software houses releasing games, and it's just I don't really feel it now. I don't with modern anyway. But I think because at a young age you sort of follow the magazines, and that's the thing. It's a magazine or the internet. You can watch an American IGN bloke talking about a new game that's out, or you read the magazines, and then okay, it's the same thing in it because you got the writer, but the more passionate I get, I don't know. But I'd prefer to read the magazine and listen to American and on IGN or something or another, or GameSpot or whatever it is. But I'm probably waffling a little bit too much now. But you know, even the monitors I was going to touch on. I mean, you've got hard drives and everything, and you know, PCs had hard drives, but you know, even the 500s had a 20 meg on the 500 plus. It was GVP, and that had a hard drive built into it. The Amiga 1000, the 2000, the 3000, and obviously the 4000. But it was just a step up, really, wasn't it? For me, it was, because I couldn't afford a PC. I didn't really want one. The Amiga, I did my college work on it. I was just thinking on here, on this list, it's got read errors, because when my cousin borrowed my hard drives, I don't know what happened with it, somewhere along the line, and it ended up getting corrupted. I saw it as I was going through these earlier. I don't think I pulled it out, but if I can't see it, I don't want to waste too much time looking. Oh, here it is. And this was September. No, it can't be September '92. It's probably the thingy. But yeah, I don't know if you can sort of see that, but it says like read error on the hard drive. Yeah, the drive that I had some errors on it for some reason. I don't know how I was dragging things across. Probably pretty new to it, but it had reblock errors on it. And what I had to do is copy like certain files across to it, because it just kept saying like DH1 read write error. So I've had the idea, if I create like an errors directory on the hard drive, and then I drag like really small, you know, like DII files and, you know, Avil, and I don't know, just thinking out, you know, top of my head, like Amiga, like C files, and then that will cover up where the actual errors are. So you copy it across, and I end up having the end of the hard drive. But yeah, that was a pain, that was. So then ended up, I couldn't do nothing. In the end, I low formatted it, and then it sort of works, but it's the same thing. It comes up with the error messages still. But yeah, you know, and just the peripherals as well with the Amiga. Said the ROM drive gave you experiences with that, along with the CD32. It come out with, you know, Simon the Sorcerer, a talkie version of it, Microcosm, and you can play all these games off the CD-ROM on the 1200. But definitely between 93, 94, 95. I really can't think of anything else really to mention now, because I'm waffling a little bit now. Anyway, I'll leave it there, but definitely the Amiga for me. 93, 94, 95, just great memories for me. Just growing up, having a little bit of income, not much a week, but it was better than what I had with the Spectrum when I had games and I didn't really know what they were, and I played them and they weren't that great, so you know, didn't play them again. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Good night.